Okay.
So let's talk about your volunteering at the Blue Water Health. Tell me a little bit about the story there, how you came to do it, and what you
Okay.
do.
It happened. I was retired in '89. I had a nervous breakdown, and my wife and I, we'd been to Florida and we'd been golfing, and this was going on for 4 or 5 years. And I got to the point where I couldn't, I didn't want any more of it. I'm not a professional golfer, you know. So anyway, it didn't. I was in the hospital. I was getting a blood test, and I don't know why. I a nurse went by and I said, "Could you tell me where the volunteer office is?" And she took me to it, and that's the start of it. And I can't to this day know why I did it, but I did it. And I had thought that I would like to get a job, you know. I could sell furniture or some damn thing. I just had to do something. So anyway, I got in there, and they put me on the desk where where people come in, and I send them to where they want to go, or I take the wheelchair and I wheel them, and that went on for a number of years, and we were right next to the foundation office, and when somebody came in and asked a question that I couldn't answer, I'd go into the foundation, and they'd set me straight, and then I'd tell them. And I got to know them, and I got to say, well, I need to have something to do here. So I kept asking them if they'd give me something to do, give me something. So that started up. I was getting letters to, fold and send out and stuff like this. And we were all volunteers on the desk at the time, and they took the volunteer status off and put a secretary there. And she knew the ropes better, so I got a lot more work when I was with her. And I was getting them from different areas. When that ended, they asked, the foundation asked me, and I'd been involved then with the house and the things that the foundation were doing, eh? And so, when I left there, they asked me if I'd go to Lifeline. They had Lifeline, and I said, "Oh yeah, I thought I'd like that." And it was very, very good. It was interesting. I saw all over Lamton County. I met a lot of lovely people and older people, and stories, and I really enjoyed it. They sold it. And they were making money. I don't know why they sold it, but they sold it. So anyway, we were done there. My wife at this time, she'd been through cancer, and it was time I spent some time, and she wasn't too well. I could see she was gradually going down, So I stayed with her until 2009. She passed away, and then they called me and they asked me if I'd come back, and I said, right now. So I did. I went back, and now I do anything they ask me to do. I love to do it. It's just, I just think it's the greatest thing that you can do. I feel so good for doing it, and I sometimes work 5 days a week when we get into real problems with there's or some 8 hours. I work two days anyway, but 8 hours. So sometimes this year the most I worked was 3 because we sold out quicker, and we had a couple of extra volunteers in there. So
Do you mind me asking how old you're?
I'm 85.
Good for you. You look
yeah.
a young 85.
Well,
What did you do when you were working?
I worked at Polisar.
Did you?
Yeah, and I started out as at the bottom of the line, and I worked my way up. I was a supervisor of safety and training, and among a lot of other things. And I ended up with a nervous breakdown. I was a workaholic, really.
Yeah,
And I had a nervous breakdown in '89, and I took my pension. The doctor said he didn't want me. He said, you can't go back to work. If you can, you won't be around you won't be supervising anybody. And so, but they were so good to me that they gave me a good deal when I left, and so it was good. I 40 and a half years there, and so it was good.
Tell me what you would say to somebody that is considering volunteering but maybe hasn't volunteered and they're wondering how they get into volunteering. Tell me a little bit about what you would say to that person.
The first thing I would say to them is that don't do it if you just want something to do to pass the time away. If you're going in there just because you want to get out of the house, that don't work. You won't get nothing out of it. If you go in there with the thought that you want to give something back to somebody, you want to do something for somebody, you want to help somebody, then go in there and ask for, tell them what you like to do. They'll give you any place that you want to work. If you don't, I said that I couldn't handle being around sick people very well. And so where they put me were into another spot, but they'll put you wherever you want to go. And if you're dedicated to it, you'll enjoy it. It's just an enjoyment, you know, if you are dedicated with it. But to go in there just to pass the time away, it's not worth it, I don't think. I don't think they would enjoy it, you know.
All right. Thanks so much for